ESPN's coverage of the NASCAR Nationwide Series. Today comes to you from the world's fastest speedway. It's the Aaron's 312, live from Talladega Superspeedway in Alabama. The scene here at Talladega, well, it can be a little wild at times. And that's just the infield. Now the action moves on to this giant 2 2/3 mile track where the racing will be fast, frantic, and furious over the next couple of hours. Engines fire in just about 2 minutes, so let's head upstairs and join Dr. Jerry Punch, Andy Petrie, and Dale Jarrett. Gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Alan. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Talladega. Glad to have you with us. You know, most of us would agree that normally these drivers who compete inches apart at almost 200 miles per hour are fearless. But here at Talladega on race morning, when you look into their eyes, you see something very different. There is obvious concern. And Dale Jarrett, why are some of the best drivers in the world so worried about what might happen here today?
Well, Jerry, we're here at Talladega, and these drivers know the likelihood of a big crash is highly probable. And it doesn't matter if you're running first or 35th. You know, this big crash doesn't discriminate. You can be involved, and that chance is highly probable that you're going to be a part of something just like this today. You know, these drivers, they are fearless. They're not there concerned about that, but they also know that when you wreck here, you hit hard. And when you hit hard, as safe as these cars are, it's still going to hurt. And, Danny, drivers don't like that.
Yeah, it's not if it's going to happen, but when. And Andy, break it down for us. You know, what causes these violent multi-car crashes?
Well, you would think sometimes it would be the inexperienced drivers, but more times than not, you see veteran drivers making mistakes, like you see right here with Kyle Busch getting turned upside down by a little nudge from Tony Stewart. And then again, you know, this happens on the straightaway a lot of times. You see these guys trying to jockey for position. You see Kenny Wallace gets into the back of Tony Stewart, kind of puts him on his lid on the front stretch. So, you know, these things happen a lot of times with veteran race car drivers.
Things can happen in a hurry at Talladega. Multi-car crashes, so starting spot doesn't make a lot of difference. Remember, Bobby Labonte won this race last year from 34, so everyone's a contender, which makes this race so fun to watch today. Let's go trackside for the command.
And now, for the most famous words in motorsports, please welcome from the Wounded Warrior Project, members Noah Galloway, U.S. Army, Neil Duncan, U.S. Army, Alumni Director Ryan Kelly, Program Manager Ryan Cools, and Executive Vice President of Resources Development, Jeff Searcy.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Crank them up, gang. Crank them up.
Engines have fired, drivers are cinched up and getting set to go. When we return, we'll visit with our in-race reporter, David Rudiman, driver of the Aaron's Toyota. We'll talk pit strategy with his crew chief, Jerry Baxter, and we'll introduce you to the man who will be his lifeline today. From the roof, high above us here in the tower, his spotter and cousin, Sean Rudiman. All that and more when we come back to Talladega in just a moment.
Just a couple beers. ESPN's coverage of the NASCAR Nationwide Series on ABC. Brought to you by Toyota. Moving forward.
Welcome back to Talladega. Take a look at our starting grid. Two-time NASCAR Sprint Cup champion Tony Stewart picked up his second pole of the year. His first one came at Daytona, and he backed it up with the win in the season opener. Earnhardt Jr. starts 7th, Kyle Busch 8th. And while you watch to see where your favorite driver is starting, let's visit with our in-race reporter, the driver of the Aaron's Toyota, David Rudiman, who starts back in 27th position today.
David, Dale Jarrett, the ESPN. You have a copy?
Yeah, I got you, DJ.
Hey, David, starting in 27th today, what type of strategy might we see you employ at the beginning of today's race in your brightly colored number 99 Toyota?
Yeah, it's definitely bright. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, you know, you have all kinds of scenarios and game plans kind of in place that you think you may, you know, put into play. But when it comes down to it, we try and get in line or try to get closer to the front than what we are, or trying to find us a couple guys to work with, and definitely not take any chances this first half for sure.
Okay, David, our second question comes from one of your fans. John in Austin, Texas would like to know if you could pick any driver, who would be your dream drafting partner?
Well, if I can't have Dale Jarrett, I guess I'm gonna have to go with probably somebody like Tony Stewart, Dale Jr. Those guys who seem to be awful good at working stuff in the draft. Those guys do a good job. But my first choice is Dale Jarrett. But any chances of that today happening are probably slim to none, right?
Yeah, I'll send you a check later. Hey, I appreciate it. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you later on, Dave.
All right, man. Thanks, buddy.
Calling his shots for David on pit road today will be veteran crew chief Jerry Baxter. Let's hear from him.
Hey, Jerry Baxter, Andy Petrie up here in ESPN. You got us?
Yeah, Andy, go ahead.
Hey, Jerry. We got a lot of different strategies that are used here at a super speedway like Talladega, different than other tracks. What can we expect to see down there today?
Well, Andy, before I tell you about our strategy with the Aaron's Dream Machine, I had a question for you. I wanted to make sure that you were feeling well and everything. I didn't really see you down in Mexico City last week.
Come on, Jerry. This man can't have a weekend off.
Yeah, 10-4. What we're going to do, we're going to have to, being starting in the back like we're doing and everything, we're going to have to, pull some kind of strategy to get them up closer to the front. So the way this tire was wearing during practice, we ran 45, 50 laps. There was no wear, so I'm sure you're going to see a lot of two-tire, no-tire strategies and whatnot.
Thanks a lot, Jerry. You guys have a great race.
Thank you.
Arguably here at Talladega, the most important member of the crew is not on pit road, but rather high above it on the roof in the spotter stand. In David Rudiman's case, it's his cousin Sean who works as his spotter. Let's visit with Sean.
Sean, Dale Jarrett, you have a copy?
Yeah, 10-4. Go ahead, Dale.
Hey, Sean, we know the spotter's role today is very important. Deals are being made throughout the day. Have you already started making some of those deals?
Yeah, I've been talking to Tyler Green here, Mark Green's son, and working with him, trying to get to the front. Deals are made, deals are broke. Probably last 20 laps, there'll be more wheeling and dealing up here than Las Vegas. So really come the end of the race, everybody tells you they're going to go with you, and then last couple laps is the free-for-all brawl to the front.
All right, you have a great day. Keep your eyes open, and we'll talk to you later on.
Thank you.
Sean has a nice vantage point high above. We'll also give you a vantage point from inside the cars with high-definition onboard cameras. We'll be riding along with Mike Bliss, who equals his best start of the year, second in the Miccosukee Golf Championships Chevy. Dale Earnhardt Jr. starts 7th in the Delphi Chevy, carrying our Chevy in-car camera. Mike Wallace 20th in the Geico Toyota. Greg Biffle starts 15th at City Financial Ford. Kyle Busch, Kenny can keep the string alive, starts 8th in the Z-Line Designs Toyota. K.O. Gale starts 9th in the Camping World Chevrolet. And Brad Keselowski starts 5th in the Navy Chevy. Well, from on the track to high above it, aerial coverage from high above this massive 3,000-acre complex, courtesy of our good friend at Goodyear. For track-tested technology, get there on Goodyear Innovation. Well, it's all about the draft today. We'll have more draft stories, and we'll talk about the politics of the draft after these messages and a word from our ABC stations.